Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day! By royal decree! Axe frying pan into the fire! Eat this!
I must leave no stone unturned.
To dust! Let's end this quickly!
Leave it all to me. As a dutiful maid would.
Let's end this quickly!
I'll catch up.
This isn't good.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper, too. What are they for? Paimon's seen this pattern before. But... Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission that... But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child? Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some talismans like that were once used in the Archon War. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous. And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour. Let's go!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Freeze! I got careless.
Is this an answer from this world?
All in a day's work.
Quake! Terra Smash! Terra Smash! Yeah! I'll keep this close.
Right on time. I myself only... Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Leo. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's... Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy.
Oh. So you also met with Keqing then? What did she...
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liu Qixing don't want to face that truth...
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be...
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Diwa?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild...
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies, but I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. That's correct. Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance.
So how good is your singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon...
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
What happened? These flowers are jumping! They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Liyue?
Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day!
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Terra Smash!
Nice and spicy! Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me. Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey! It's... What's-her-face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah, that reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met.
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of...
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view.
Oh, sorry, we should...
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard. Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself.
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to... If you would excuse me, I should return to my work.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly... Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Ad Astra at...
Adventurer, think you can last a round against me?
What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and... the Fatui?
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hid.
It seems inevitable, given the currents.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no...
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui...
That's all Ningguang's. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the act. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let...
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or neither path is an easy...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authority.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, Traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion...
Having connections with the Fatui seems... So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him. He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Mondstadt welcomes you.
The neighboring nation of Leo.
Lia's Archon.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For
Someone needs assistance. Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of Mora. This is where all of Teyvat's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a clue. Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously perish the very moment I arrived in Liyue, and that the Exuvia would subsequently... If it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the information. Stopping the Mora mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. she will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as that's either way. We now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that...
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle. When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequence. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you... Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see... This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
By royal decree!
You've made some progress.
Boba, get them!
Run all you like!
I'll catch up.
How unbecoming. Not bad. You've got a trick. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. To dust! Raging tide! Crushing! Terra Smash!
I must leave no stone unturned.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking more Axis Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
you! Yeah! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Boba, get them! Shadow Raven, let night fall! You're toast!
I must leave no stone unturned. I'll catch up.
Die here.
Leave it all to me.
Some you win, and some you lose.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the As such, we must...
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be... The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and—
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them!
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on? If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to... Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy. Even from...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people, which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessary.
What? But all of you were supposed to be the Guardians...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our... Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Just like I...
At the frying pan, into the fire!
My work finished.
Nice and spicy! Oz, reveal thyself! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Finally, some quiet.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is Adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time until you're cursed! Whoa! It's Madame Ping's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
Quick!
Shadow Raven, Black Knight fall! I summon thee!
I miscalculated.
Nice and spiced!
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
You're toast!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
I must leave no stone unturned. Time to clean up.
Cooked food. Disgusting.
Look at me. Just once more.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Ricky, this! Out of the frying pan, into the fire! As a good knight should.
I will end you. I guess.
Yep.
This is it. This isn't good. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Nice and spicy. You're toast!
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Miscalculated.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short... It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any...
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We can't...
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as... Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell...
Are you questioning our means of
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the...
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right. Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot—
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we— Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti that—
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue, the country of contracts, is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adeptis, although their blood is weak. There is still strength to be found. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is...
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so,
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond. Fair enough. Away we shall.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but Child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that arc? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhang Li's going. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best state.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems...
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui... We had better go and make...
Is this an answer from this world?
Brave girl. Come on. Don't cry now.
Finally, a seat with a view. Liyue cuisine will surely prevail in this year's Masterful Chefs.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you! You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time. See?
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against... Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyra goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself,
Oh, Zhongli.
but as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age. I decided that a test was needed, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Senora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has...
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Paimon can't absorb so much information. So, Zhongli, what sort of contract did...
One of the clauses of our contract was not...
You're so... Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they call...
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident...
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yeah, I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm... Still, what sort of supernatural
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look.
Hear ye all! The Chi Sing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, and nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chi Sing's announcement said. So that's how there's... Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Chi Sing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adept... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say, will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless? If you were looking for someone, you could have just...
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say...
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see and here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,000? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinyue Kiosk. Are you sure you can...
You're right. I do lack the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memory. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. Traveling the streets of... That is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods... This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings.
Whoa.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis... I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future... Kuching is absolutely right in saying... Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wished?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Yes, this is indeed a major well, I suppose we'll...
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience.
You know, this is starting to feel like chili pepper weather. Paimon's hungry for some fresh and fiery, spicy foods that let your taste buds have a blast. And if there's one dish that fits the bill, it's black-back perch stew. Come on, let's pay a visit to Wanmin Restaurant.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose...
Ah, Traveler, welcome. Good to see you. What can I get for you?
We want some black-back perch stew.
All right, black-back perch stew it is. Make yourselves at home. It'll be right out for you in just a moment.
Thanks, Chef Mao.
I was just thinking about you guys, and now you're here. It feels like you heard my call and came running.
You mean you were about to come looking for us?
Uh-huh. There's something I want to discuss with you guys. Did you happen to see how the city looked on the way over here? Everyone's getting ready for the Moon Chase Festival.
Moon Chase Festival? Is that another one of Liyue's ancient traditions?
That's right! Moonchase is a big festival where we celebrate the arrival of the fall by moonlight. The old folks say that thousands of years ago, this was the time of the year when the Adepti would seek the way. But it's completely different nowadays. We eat our favorite foods, spend time with friends and relatives, enjoy the moon and the flowers. So much easier. Basically, we just do all the things that people like doing and don't take a whole lot of effort.
Sounds like Paimon's kind of festival.
With your great taste in food, Moonchase Festival is sure to be to your liking.
Hey! If you got a problem with Paimon's taste, just spit it out!
So are you guys free these days? I'm taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs. If possible, I'd like you to be my culinary consultants.
That's right. Getting some suggestions from friends will broaden your horizons.
Masterful chefs, huh? So is that like a competition?
Right, yeah! I guess you probably haven't heard about it, but every year Moonchase Festival has a different theme, usually picked by the Qixing. This year's theme is Feast of the Bounteous Land, so the Qixing decided to organize a cooking competition.
Feast of the Bounteous Land.
I totally agree. I heard it was Ningguang that came up with it. She's so amazing. And, well, I want to take part in the competition, but coming up with new dishes is hard work. By the time you finally thought of something, cooked it, taste tested it, it can be hard to judge whether you're really into something. So, I was thinking, I could get the two of you to help by gathering everyone's thoughts on what makes a great dish. I really want to think outside the box this time. And to do that, I'm gonna need lots of different ideas from...
This'll be a piece of cake! We've got friends from all over the map, haven't we?
You sound pretty confident.
Well, you know, not to brag or anything. But first things first, let's have a delicious one-man meal. After that, we can go around...
Okay, great. Also, Golbat should be back soon, so we...
Here's your blackback perch stew, folks.
It smells so good.
It's my pleasure.
That was so delicious. Theory confirmed. This is definitely chili pepper weather.
Xiangling can be a bit of a handful, so...
Come on, Dad! Why would you say that?
Because I know you all too well, my dear. That's why. You mustn't be quite so reckless when you're out in the wild, you understand? You do well to be a little more
Don't worry. We're all friends here. Let's all look at...
Ah, and Gloma's back. Roly-poling around is...
All right, let's pack up and head out.
Simply have to try the winning dish of this year's Masterful Chefs. Try the winning dish of this year's Masterful Chefs.
A toast to our success.
Today into the Moonchase Today, we delve deeper into the moon chase.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
So, it's outside the box thinking that we're looking for, right? Hu Tao always seems to have a unique perspective, so let's make this our first stop.
What? My ears are burning. Did somebody say my name? Yeah, it's Paimon and the Traveler. Oh, and Xiangling, too. Oh, of course, Hu Tao. Way outside the box. Meaning, you're here for some other reason, right? How might I be of assistance? Well, Hu Tao, I wanted to ask you, what kind of food do you like? What food I like? Off the top of my head.
Wow, so even Hu Tao gets lost for words sometimes. Paimon...
Come on, even the chirpiest birds clock out for the night, right? I'm no different.
Pretty sure clocking out isn't something birds do, but...
Right! There's no need to overcomplicate it. Just pick a dish and tell me what you like about it. I see. Launching a new dish? Well, let me say right off the bat, nothing weird, okay? Some poached fish, a side of shrimp dumplings. That is all you need. Poached fish and shrimp dumplings? That's a bit ordinary, isn't it? Well, it is and it isn't. Think about it. Poached fish is hot and spicy with a powerful aroma. It's a dynamic dish. Add a side of shrimp dumplings, and there's your static component. Got it? Dynamic? Oh, I can do dynamic. Mushroom slime stew, No, not that kind of dynamic. A dish is more than substance, it's a mood. Poached fish is red and spicy. It elicits a response from the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. That's why I call it dynamic. Shrimp dumplings are more subdued, clear and smooth with a pure and subtle fragrance. I call that static. Combining dynamic and static is how you create a perfectly balanced meal. A union between opposite but complementary features.
Paimon didn't follow that at all.
Okay. Dynamic and static. Opposite.
So is this just another way of saying you should keep everything balanced? You know, a little meat, a little veggie.
Bingo! Except I don't think you need to have a sweet dish for it to be a complete meal. Personally, I always skip dessert. Okay, I think I got it. At first I thought you were just goofy. How did I ever doubt you, Hu Tao?
When it comes to telling tales, the storytellers have gotten...
Sounds suspiciously like a compliment to me. I'll take it. Uh-huh. Well, at least one of you gets it. Everything in this world runs on its own set of principles, be it the circle of life or sugar and spice. You either get it or you don't. Since the Traveler seems to approve, I'll make sure to factor it in.
Paimon thinks we're pretty much done here now. Let's head to Boo Boo Pharmacy next.
Boo Boo Pharmacy? Yeah, you'll definitely get some interesting responses over there. If you find out anything interesting...
Oh, it's you. Is everything okay?
Why, if it isn't the special guests who seldom visit. Less busy than usual, I see. Yikes! What happened to Baishu's voice? Excuse me? The neck. Oh, it's just Changsheng.
Welcome, welcome. Here to procure an herbal remedy.
No. We actually came for the conversation.
I'm entering this year's cooking competition, so I wanted to ask you both... Oh, wait, there's 3 of you. I wanted
to... Most astutely self-corrected. We shall surely supply...
You need to know what food I like? It's all the same. No flavor.
Chi-Chi has some gustatory dysfunction and can't taste any food. Make no mistake.
Oh, I understand. That's fine. Still, I'd expect Chi-Chi to have some sort of dietary preferences, though. There must be some dishes that you like the sensation of.
Sensation? Yeah, coconut milk. Nice and cold.
Well, that doesn't help us. It's not a dish.
How about you two? Any thoughts?
I like bite-sized morsels of meat.
I agree with Changsheng. Many of our patients are the elderly and young children. They find large chunks of fowl or seafood difficult to swallow and digest. Dishes where the ingredients have been finely chopped, on the other hand, are... We also see plenty of people with colds and sore throats who find it difficult to eat rich food. From a purely pharmaceutical perspective,
Got it! Would that be medicinal soups and stews?
Medicinal soup.
I must apologize for having such a one-track mind. It's a little difficult to think about food without worrying about the health implications these days. We've had quite the endless stream of patients recently. If you ask me, I think the changing weather is to blame.
That's okay. Everyone's input counts. Keeping it seasonal and suitable for all ages sounds like a pretty good idea.
Medicinal dishes have higher demands in terms of nutritional balance than the kind of food I normally cook. I don't usually focus on medicinal properties, but since this is for a competition, maybe I can score...
Food with substance.
It's a great suggestion. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.
It's great to have a doctor's unique perspective. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, how you flatter me.
Receptivity to sensible suggestions make... Oh, she is! Creating new dishes is Xiangling's favorite thing to do. You can be sure she'll put lots of care and attention into it.
Everyone got their hobbies, and mine is cooking. Usually I just go with my own ideas, but having a whole new perspective this time is sure to make a big difference.
Great! That makes this whole trip worth it. All right, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective.
Oh, it's the Traveler in Paimon. And Xiangling.
Greetings, friends. It's been a while.
Hey, what brings you here?
Has something happened? What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objections?
None here. You know how to get things done, Keqing. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Keqing is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. You, meanwhile, seem only too ready to pounce when an opportunity to publicly lambaste me arises. By no means. You wish to know about the stone, I presume. Then let me invite the great seafarer Captain Beto to tell the story.
Well, it's a big one, right? And such a smooth surface, too.
It was found by a fishing crew, not far off the coast. It must have been underwater for years, so the erosion will be what's given it that...
Finds like this cannot be kept as private property, and must be submitted to a holder of public office. Placing it into our custody will...
So, what's inside it?
Well, we've hit it with just about every weapon we could get our hands on and haven't managed to even dent it yet. Clearly there's more to it than meets the...
No weapon could smash it open. Wow. Paimon doesn't think...
Keqing has taken an unusually keen interest in this giant stone, which is why...
Let's put that aside for a second. Traveler, what brings you here?
Actually, we were looking for all of you.
Oh? Hopefully not because there's been some sort of cataclysmic event.
No, nothing like that. Paimon's just getting carried away. I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences?
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you.
What about you, Beto?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there, too, I'm one very happy...
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works, too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood. Piping hot
and, simple, but that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you've...
Oh my, they're my favorite.
You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated.
Huh. So what you're saying is, for all the frills and trills, good food is...
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So Kuching loves golden shrimp balls.
I didn't say that. Did I?
No, at least not outright.
Alrighty. Thanks for all your input. I'll be sure to take it all into consideration.
Traveler, Paimon, do you have anything planned after this? Good. I'd like you to help me investigate something.
You picked the right people for the job. We investigate...
My thoughts exactly. The Qixing has a public duty to deliver our final verdict to the fishermen. But there are also some things I would like to I'm sure you've become acquainted with the general background of the Moonchase Festival. However, I have my own understanding of this. My grandfather was a researcher of Liyue's traditions. In his notes, he indicated that there was a deity called the Stove God in ancient Liyue, which people paid tribute to at a certain time of the year. Very few written records make mention of the Stove God, and those that do are notoriously confusing. Some scholars believe that the Stove God was just another title held by the Lord of Geo, but others suggest that this was one folktale even claims that the ancients found the Stove God's shrine, but there was no statue. Only shortly after it was found, the stone was lost in transit, and it hasn't been seen since. This stone here has all the same features, so I suspect it could be. After many years of researching ancient texts, my grandfather came to believe that the practice of paying seasonal tribute to the Stove God may be best described as a festival. He called it the Stove God Festival. That would make it the forerunner to the Moonchase Festival we know today. But this is all just theory and conjecture. To prove any of it, we'd need to start by identifying who the Now that Rex Lapis has passed on, and Liyue has entered the age of humankind, his successors should continue to respect our nation's culture and tradition. That's why I think the responsibility for this situation should fall to me. It's a chance to shed light on our history, revitalize an ancient tradition, and possibly prove my grandfather's hypothesis along the way. It was just a couple of days ago that we received this stone. Right after we decided to use food as the central theme for this year's festival. It makes me wonder. Maybe a divine will is at work behind all of this.
Three birds with one stone, huh? That's pretty efficient, even for
Hey, don't worry about that. That sounds super... Besides, we're only...
What? Why are you shouting?
Kuching, can I tag along for your investigation?
But...
Since it's all about the Stove God, I might get to learn something useful about cooking along the way. It'll be great Please, let me come along.
If it means that much to you...
Really? Yay! Thank you so...
Now that that's settled, time to get going. Jingsa Village is said to be home to a lot of historical texts, so I'd like to start by making some...
Alright, then it's off to Jingsa.
Sincerely, Beidou, you misunderstand me. I have many simple pleasures. I take a stroll through Yujing Terrace and one down...
Well,
every...